Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm in a little bit of a rush, but I've got a meditation done. And after yesterday, I have decided that I'm going to continue using the Gilded Tarot to pull cards, specifically about this dream, because this dream does coincide with a lot of stuff going on in the real world and in real world events. And after the cards I pulled yesterday, I'm kind of curious as to what they have to say to me today. I am on day number 11, and I am doing a dream, but it's not really a dream. It's sort of conceptual ideas and stuff that kind of coincide with the dream. So let me give these a quick shuffle, and we'll get started on the tarot. Oh, I got cards flipping out everywhere here. Make sure that they are, yeah, they're okay. Okay, so one more shuffle ought to do it. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card here, and we've got the Four of Swords, and I think this coincides with yesterday. The man is at the ready to grab his sword and to charge into battle, not really knowing what to expect or what is going to happen. I think this coincides fairly well with what the dream was about, but I'm going to put the card aside, and I'm going to go ahead and get started on the dream. We're on day number 11. It's May 14th, and the dream is called the Flute Concert and the 1920's Dress. I incorporated two different dreams because I think that they kind of coincide with each other a little bit. I said, after yesterday, I wonder if dreams are really going to be significant. Yesterday, I dreamt something about a flute concert, but then when I woke up, I could only think of my flute. Metatron says, that is a message, Yvette. It coincides with the message Sunshine gave you in a very profound way. It's also relative to the dream about the dress. Consider this, both dreams, one from the past and one from the today, are a significant balance because they involve objects. Tell me about the 1920s dress. I said, okay, we had visited a casino, my husband and I. It had resembled Vegas or Atlantic City, which seemed consistent with us having visited Atlantic City some years ago. Metatron said, that was in the 90s when you lived in New Jersey, correct? I said, yes. The place had a 1920s flair to it, but overall there was nothing out of the ordinary about it. Anyway, after having played the quarter slots, we won, but instead of winning money, we got two slips of paper that said dress on them. These were two of them, both wrapped in this thin plastic, similar to what clothes are picked up when they go to the dry cleaner. I told my husband that we could give the dresses to his mother. He concurred, and we headed for home. Home was not where we lived in Jersey, but instead it was the old house where I had grown up. The person that occupied the house was not my mother, but instead my mother-in-law. She had been out when we arrived, and I went to the bedroom and began to unpack the dresses. I had, instead of hanging them up, had tried them on to see if they both fit, which they did. One was a simple day dress, old-fashioned style with buttons and plain. The second was sequenced with a big hat and a veil that ran down the back of the dress. The hat itself was yellow or gold color with a thin yellowish or orangish veil. The dress was a darkish yellow with sequins. The shimmering sequins dress looked like an evening gown, but it was long and formless with a V-neck. Before I could change out of the dress and hang it back up, my mama returned and I woke up. And Metatron says, again, you're recalling the color orange. How is that significant? I said, well, my grandmother, my father's stepmother, had a fondness for the color. She told me once it was her favorite color. Metatron says, the color yellow was your favorite color. Somehow the dream reflects back on the grandmotherly energy. You spoke with your grandmother Lillian some days back, and not with this grandmother. I said, no. I said, her name was, this grandmother's name was Imodine. Even though we were not related by blood, we were related by love. She was my father's stepmother, but still an amazing person. Metatron says, so you recall that the throne room had autumn colors, the library had autumn colors, and now the dress with the same colors. Also, all of these things had a sort of historical imagery to it. The castle with the throne room was described in a manner that depicts history. The dress denotes an era of the past. All of these are a reflection of past events. You seem to find a sense of comfort in the familiarity of the past, of the closeness you share with people from the past, and a sort of connection to things that bring that sense of comfort. The flute is a symbol as well. The idea that the music soothes you, the music, much of it classical, also reflects on the past. The comfort of the past being brought forth these troubling times. You are someone who takes comfort in the positive aspects of your past, but who also recognizes that your past is the past. The dress depicts an era of free thought. It was called the Roaring 20s, and now looking at the present and seeing a pope with the name Leo, as in lions roaring. All of these things tie together. It's a tapestry, not cut and dried. The dreams about the dress and the flute concert are woven together to create a calm and centered sensation. We are exploring an idea that says that you are not caught up in the past. You do not live in the past, but that the past has become an idea encased in comforting images and things that calm your senses. I said, so it's not dwelling on the past. And Metatron says, no, not at all. What you are doing is unconscious level. You are reflecting on an idea that in the past everything worked out, that there was simplicity in it. In the Roaring 20s, it gave way to the Great Depression, which led to war, which led to reconstruction or rebuilding. I said, are you saying that we are heading towards another war? And Metatron says, quite gravely, you are in one. The things happening in Ukraine are the war. And now you have a man wanting even more chaos to encapsulate humanity so that he can ride up on his sleek white charger and defeat the chaos he created, thusly making himself a false hero. This history is not only repeating itself, it is recreating itself. This is not being said as a way to scare you. It is being recreated so that one man can say, look what I did. I am a hero and deserve your undying respect. The problem with that is that this man is the man who created all of this mess, this illusion himself. He is the master of deceit. He is that false prophet trying desperately to appear real. The historical dreams are your ability to see in real time that history is repeating itself and is being forced into existence by one man who thinks that he alone can be a global hero. I said, he's dangerous. And Metatron says, he is indeed. But the message that Sunshine has given you should give you hope that with all of the deceptions, all of the lies, and the evil, there is hope in the notion that leaders around the world and in communities are seeing this for what it truly is. I said, what is it, Metatron? What can we do? How can we face it when things seem so helpless? And Metatron says, what you can do is what you are doing. The dream seems to be a sort of fictional comfort in a negative reality. Your dreams bring you into balance with the things that you cannot change. That is where there are messages. They are in essence me, Fred, guides, and angels offering you a sense of comfort in a trying time. The message is that things will get better, that people will see the evil for what it is. The more this man does, the more people will stand up and say, I see you for who you are and what you are, and I defy you. Goodness will overcome evil, and people will learn that kindness is not a liability, but the ego is. I said, so my dreams about the past with the with the dresses and the architecture are just my coping with things as they are going on in the real world. And Metatron says, yes, the music helps. When you have a song that speaks to your spirit and you sing or play that song, you find that answers into the melodies and harmonies of that song. The world is a good place, Yvette. The messages are there. They are being given to you to help you, not to escape into a dream and the notion that the dream is strictly fantasy, but instead it's a gift to you, a reason to continue down this path, and while it may seem like escapism, it is in fact a mirror into your soul, into your heart's desires, but also into that place of peace that will help you along your soul's path today. I said, that sounds beautiful. And Metatron says, it is, and you will be given more messages of this kind. They may seem small and insignificant, but they are not. They will make a difference not only to you, but to those around you. And I said, I will. Thank you. And that's where we ended. So not only that, I finished another book. So this notebook is filled. This is number 6, I think, 6th notebook that I've done. So back to the cards here. I'm ready. I'm aware. I know that this is coming or that this is happening. My hand is at the ready to grab my sword and fight on. The next card is the 3 of Pentacles. And this depicts a man who is holding a pentacle, and there's 2 others floating above him. What does this mean? That it's about money? That people are willing to sacrifice so much for money, thinking that this is going to make them the heroes of the day, but I don't think it will. I don't think that the money is really the answer to people's problems or to the situations, but the money is part of the problem that we are contending with in today's world. So, let me see another card. Page of Swords. I'm a little bit stuck on this one. I'm not sure what it really implies, but I think that this guy seems very flamboyant in his gesture and his way, in the manner that he is. Maybe thinks he's more important than most people think, or maybe he's trying to show people that he's more important than he actually is. And maybe that's a depiction of what we're seeing in the world. We're seeing these people thinking that they're so important because they have money and they have the power, they have the gift, they can do everything they want. And then you have the sleeping giant who's telling you, no, not going to happen. I don't think this is going to happen at all. So with these cards, what we're seeing is we are seeing people standing up and fighting and willing to fight. So that's all I've got. I wish you a wonderful day. Get out and enjoy the day, and take care. And as always, namaste.